Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is a video by the National Chung Kung University Department of Foreign Languages and Literature. This is going to be the first video of a three-part series which discusses writing flow. You may have heard this called cohesion, and this is the idea that this is the field of how do you transition or link your ideas together in your English writing. So this first video will be an introduction to transitions and linking words, and then we'll talk about the first type. So when your points are parallel that you want to make, the points you want to make are parallel. How do you connect them together? You've probably actually heard of transitions and linking words before, but in case you haven't, I think this is a good help guide. It's not going to be a dictionary definition sort of guide, but rather some sort of just gives you examples and tips on how you can try to choose which transitions to use and where you can use transitions. So, what is a transition? If you think to the very smallest element of a sentence, prepositions are the words that connect words. And if you go a step above that, so when you have words connected together into clauses and phrases, how do you connect those together? With conjunctions. And then a step above that is our linking words. So when you have a lot of sentences that make up an idea, how do you connect those ideas and sections together? And linking words actually include a lot of conjunctions and prepositions inside of them as well. It's kind of a general grouping of the way you use these words. And yeah, you'll see that in a second. But just for some context, here is an IELTS Band 8 essay. I will be highlighting the linking words that we'll be discussing in these videos in yellow, and you'll see some other ones highlighted in gray. So this is the example. And here are those linking words. So you've probably heard of a lot of these, like however, on the other hand, not only, but also, other. But we'll talk about more of these in these videos. So there's a lot of linking words. You may or may not have heard these words called or labeled as linking words, but it's good to know these. You can think of linking words and transitions as the glue that holds your points and your ideas and your writing together. So of course, the stronger your glue is, the more that you know how to use what type of glue where is going to help your writing become better. So if you want to screenshot, you go ahead and screenshot. And so the first type that we'll be talking about in this video, we'll be talking about this one. So when points are parallel, when you're just kind of adding support, that is kind of along the same idea, just listing points. And the second video will be about contrasting points. And there's different types of that. And then the third video will be about cause and or effect. So when a point is about the cause or the reason for something, and the other point you make is about the effect or the result. How do you connect those two? So you've probably heard a lot of these sentence connectors before, and these actually typically, these quote-unquote sentence connectors usually are adverbs, and they go in between sentences, or the very start of the second sentence, the second point you're making. So let's start. So further is a good one. Can describe the situations, can be used in a lot of different places. So the topic of this sentence is the forum. And so we have a good point about it. It's well organized. And we have our second point, which is that the speakers were all delightful. And you can connect the two with further. The second one, or I'm sorry, on the other hand, let's say that the forum was actually not so organized. It was disorganized. And then the second point was the speakers were all subpar. Using further helps connect these 2 points together and highlights the forum as the topic of the sentence. Do note that they should be parallel, so if it's a good thing and a good thing, this one should be a negative thing and a negative thing. And another one you can use is moreover or moreover, the pronunciation being the difference between British English and American English. But when you're using moreover, it should be both negative. Let's say that your point that you're trying to make, your 2 points aren't exactly positive or negative, or it's kind of like a different topic on the same topic, a different concept within the same topic. So in this case, the sentence topic is texting while driving, and it being dangerous is one concept, but it also being illegal is a different concept. You can use this furthermore to connect the two. And just a note in general, like a lot of these are used interchangeably, meaning that writers will just choose whichever one they feel like they want to use. And that's okay. Like a lot of English writers do that. But the more that you get to know these words and the different kind of feelings, the connotations, the understanding of these words, the differences, the better a writer you'll be. And so this is kind of to help you separate these. If you're just talking about a situation, you can use in addition. So here we have this example. And then if you're talking about, once again, parallels, you can use this similar likewise. You notice that they should be parallel, either positive positive or negative negative. And do note that additionally and likewise are a little less formal than in addition and similarly. That being said, you can use them in writing, but do note that the feeling it gives is not as formal. This is the last slide of this first video, and like you saw before, these sentence connectors typically are adverbs. They function as this kind of connection right inside of that second sentence, right in front of the second point. These prepositions, other linkers, and adjectives all do the same job of connecting your points, but just in a different sort of capacity in the sentence. So in this first one, we have the parallel of John's laziness causing something. It's a parallel here. And then our point is that it caused terrible grades. And the second point is that his relationship with his parents worsened. And in this case, we can use in addition to kind of make it a lot smoother and connect those two ideas to his laziness. In English, we sometimes run into the problem of ands connecting points together, and you're not really sure which and goes to what point. In this case, as well as has the function of making it a lot clearer. So this and is potassium and sodium, and then this second point is a different one. It's much nicer. Listen to Drake. So when you have points that also use this to, so transitioning to democracy helped Taiwan to develop its economy. Helped Taiwan to develop its economy is that topic of the sentence. And this point B also helped. So instead of using to, which is fairly informal, we can use comma, as did. And this suddenly makes the sentence a lot smoother and formal, and it connects these 2 points together, pointing to how or what helped Taiwan to develop its economy. Another pattern we can use is with an ing. So this detail, the detail added to this sentence is that further growth depends on improvements to physical infrastructure. And you can see how that with depending on improvements helped transition between these 2 different points to make them into one smooth example of writing. And this not only but also pattern is also useful when you have this sort of situation. So peach is not only rich in potassium and sodium, but also an important source of calcium. And then for adjectives, let's say that you have a parallel kind of topic going on. So the benefits of learning English, and the benefit of learning English is blah, blah, blah. You can use this adjective in front of that second whatever to help kind of connect these two in the same topic section together. And so that concludes the examples of linking words and transitions that you can use to connect your parallel or supporting listing points together. Be sure to watch the second one for examples of contrasting points, when you have points that are in contrast to each other, how you connect those in writing together. And the third video for when you have points that are cause and effect, reason and result.